realized that many people have actually not grown up with their dad. And I've seen the side effects that he had, the side effects he had on others, side effects he had on me. It had a big impact that my dad was not in my life. I was just insecure. I was insecure. I didn't know my value. I didn't know that I was pretty. I didn't believe I was pretty. I didn't believe I could speak. So the fact that I'm actually speaking to you guys, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. Throughout time, I really learned, I guess, that I had some brokenness, I can say. It's from me not growing up with my dad. And I really noticed that when I met my husband. At the start of our relationship, he said that was just showing how the level of brokenness I had. And that's why I want to say what he said to me. He said I was acting like, to be honest, I used to think purpose was a skill that I needed to have. I didn't think that purpose can be life experience. God wanted to confirm that my life experience can have an impact on other people. I believe that every voice counts, every voice is important. You are important. We can get out of it. You can get out of it. You. Hi there, everyone. You are here at Dear Dad, Cher Papa, the father wound. You are here with Kiese Mwit. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for whichever platform you're listening and watching me. Thank you very much for taking a few seconds, few minutes of your time to explore what I'm going to talk about. From the title, from the name of the podcast, you can already tell it is to do about your father, my father, not your father, let me say, it's my father. It's just my journey. I've realized growing up, looking in my environment, my community, our community is to do with friends, can be family member, church members, just even neighbors, even colleagues at work, to be honest. I realized that many people have actually not grown up with their dad. And I've seen the side effects that he had, the side effects he had on others, side effects he had on me, the impact it had. And really, it's about the journey from where I came from and where I am today and where I will be going. And it's me kind of taking you through that journey, but also really to empower other people, other young women, even young men, or even elderly men, really that have not worked through any trauma or scars that have been placed in their hearts and their life. It's really just kind of to help, and not even to help, but just to say, really, you're not by yourself. And there are many of us that have gone through it. And really, the reason I'm here today is because I've kind of procrastinated. I had this idea, or have been given this confirmation from God, to be honest, about 3 years ago. I've already actually recorded this video, to be honest, previously, and that was about 2 years ago. For some reason, the video didn't save properly. No, it's saved, but for some reason, the actual memory card or something wasn't working properly. But everything happens for a reason. I do believe that. And I was meant to come out today. If you don't know, my name is Kiese, and really my name means joy. That's me. I try to spread it. I try to live by it. This year, 2025, we said no procrastination. This year, I've told myself that I will be doing anything. Well, let's rewind, not anything, but that I will say yes to the things that I normally wouldn't, try and step out of my comfort zone. And we said enough of procrastination, especially when God has confirmed this vision to me, confirmed this idea, confirmed the purpose that I should be going or leading or walking by. And to be honest, I used to think purpose was a skill that I needed to have. By skill, I mean more educational wise, or through a career or a job, and that is a purpose. I didn't think that purpose can be life experience. In this case, God wanted to confirm that my life experience can have an impact on other people. So I will just trust in God, trust on the steps that He will take me through taking actions this year, not procrastinating, trying to be as well obedient to where God wants me to go, where I haven't been obedient throughout this 3 years. It's very something that is deep in my heart. It's something that I've experienced, to be honest. It's something that I worked on. That is something that I'm still working on, because healing is not something that you go get, move on or heal from as overnight. It is something you work on daily, monthly. Some days it wants to come back even stronger, but you continuously try and work on it. And that is my aim, that is my goal. And here I am. It's Dear Dad, Cher Papa. It's a letter to my dad. It is a letter to my younger self. It is a letter for anyone else that has gone through it and hasn't grown up with their dad. And my dad is alive, just to let you know. Through the vision that God gave me is to realize that there are different ways a dad cannot be in someone's life. Other reasons, it might be that the dad is not present because he's actually deceased. It is actually because the parents are divorced. Even with divorce, you may still have a dad that is still present, but he doesn't live with you in the house. But you also have some that are divorced, but through the distance, they are not really present in your life. You also have fathers that have not chosen you for whichever reason, for immaturity. They were young, they were not ready to be dads, didn't actually realize the responsibility or the consequences of the action. I'm sure they knew that it would lead to a baby, but they didn't know the weight behind it. Many in our communities as well, some parents, they come with their children, to Europe for them to study, to have a better life. It might be different reason, might be war, it might be health wise, it might just be just a better future for them here, safety wise, security wise. And a dad, decide to stay back home and work. And then at some point they come back together. So a separate life, which also have an impact on, the children. So there are different aspects. In other, scenarios, it could be the father is in prison, the father is maybe an alcoholic, is struggling with addiction. And you also have some dads that are in the house, but they not present fathers. They do not take the lead. They do not fill the father role. So there are different aspects, really. That's the vision that God gave me. It's all these scenarios. And He was showing me the ages from 5 till 24, 25. And I'm just letting myself guide it. He was very specific on the age groups and the different type of fatherlessness, if I can say that children may go through. God was very specific. And I was like, the more I procrastinated, the more fear was coming in. So many people do say that procrastination is an underlying fear that is in there, and that's the reason you procrastinate, is the unknown. In this case, I guess the procrastination led to fear more and more. Well, is due to fear, because I maybe worried too much about what people would think. And let me be honest, I'm not really a person, I'm more of a reserved person. I'm not a person that likes to be in the forefront, likes to be the center of the attention. I've always been a person that likes to be behind the scenes, likes to support in other ways, but not be the center of attention. So that's why I believe that was quite hard for me to step up in front of you guys today, or for you guys that are listening. So thank you. I believe that's why it's taken 3 years, to be honest, for me to get here. But I said this year, I'm not going to run away. It's 2025. And what do I have to lose? And also, what was leading, the more I was procrastinating, I was also getting frustrated with myself. And you feel like you're walking around with this burden constantly because you've not done something you're supposed to do, because you've not done something that God has told you to do. And it's like you constantly walk with this burden. And sometimes you're like, what is that? Because you've just gone back into old habits and you're like, okay, what is it? What is it? What is this burden? But deep down what it is. And I believe one of the things that what I would define as success is when you do things that God tells you to do, and you also do daily, like I would do daily checklist, I just feel so enlightened and so good about myself when I check all my list, and by the end of the day I'm like, I've done it. So it's like when you do what you say you would do. So that is what I'm trying to lead 2025. So yes, that is a bit of a rough a summary, I can say, on the reason why I'm in front of you guys today, and I will talk about it throughout with time, more in depth. Yes, I'll tell you about myself a bit as well. I'm Kiese Mwit. I'm married to my husband. We've been married for almost 5 years. We were meant to get married in 2020, but then everyone knows what happened around the world. The confinement happened. We were meant to do our wedding in Germany because that's where I grew up. I grew up in Germany, in Duisburg. My husband is Belgian, is from Brussels. We couldn't have our big party. We didn't have our actual, what would you say, white wedding? Yeah, white wedding. We couldn't have that. We end up just doing our traditional wedding. So when I say 5 years in our culture and our community, we class the traditional African wedding as our marriage. That's a bit an overall story of my husband and I and our story. But if you want to know more, well, at some point, my husband will also be there, tell his story, because he's also not grown up with a dad. It's good to also have a view of a male figure and a woman, because the impacts are different as well. So it's really to bring everyone together, to have a community that you are not by yourself. You are not alone. I am not alone. I used to think that I was alone. I used to think that I was the only odd one. I was so self-conscious. I was so shy. I just didn't really love me. I didn't love myself. And if I'm really, really honest, I hate it. It's harsh. It's hard. But I hated my body shape. It's because when I grew up in Germany, everyone was super skinny, slim. You know, for me, my perspective, I felt like everyone else was a lot prettier than I was. I was the only black girl in my class. In school, maybe two, three, or four. But I used to just, yeah, I was just the one with the shape, the shape, and everyone was skinny. And when you're younger, I guess you define your beauty by the way or how many guys like you. And I felt like no guys, no boys, let's say, in that age liked me. So I didn't also feel pretty. But that wasn't the only reason I didn't feel pretty. It's really because I hated my body. And I used to say to my mom when I turned 18 years old, I'm going to have a surgery and reduce my curves in a nice way. My behind, let me be honest. I used to think that was just too much. I was just insecure. I was insecure. I didn't know my value. I didn't know that I was pretty. I didn't believe I was pretty. People used to tell me, but I didn't believe it. And people could continuously tell me I'm pretty. People could continuously tell me, oh, as African lady, you shouldn't have a surgery because African women are curvy. Your husband will love it and stuff like that. I was like, no, I don't care about my husband. I don't know where he is. I'm young, but I know that at 18, I'm gonna have a surgery. I didn't even know exactly. I know it's gonna change my body, but I didn't know in depth really what that meant. And this was at, how old was I? 12? I was 13. I was 12, 13. Because I moved to UK when I was 13, actually. The older I got, I just realized when I moved to UK, I realized, oh, other people actually have bigger behind than me. So mine is not as big as I thought. And I was like, okay, I was getting more attention here as well from males. It still didn't change anything. It was giving me confidence. It doesn't mean that I was given him access to me, but I was getting more comfortable with my body, comfortable and knowing that there is, I wouldn't say worse, there is bigger. Well, in my case, yes, there is worse because I didn't love it at that time. Confident came a little bit with time, and then it really left my mind, didn't cross my mind anymore, anything to do with surgery. And I think as well, going to church, praying, having a relationship with God has also helped me. I do believe the older I got, it had a big impact that my dad was not in my life. To be honest, when I was younger, I felt like I was closer to a stranger than to him. I would feel uncomfortable to speak to him. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to speak to you. And I remember I had a conversation with my sister and I was on a bus. And I was like, yeah, I feel like it's so much easier to speak to a stranger than to speak to him. And I cannot call him dad because he's not been in my life. And if I am honest, I've seen my dad my whole life 4 times. 4 times in a way. It was when it's 4 times, it was throughout a longer period. So maybe, some weeks or a month. So it was quite hard to build a bond. And as a child, I guess, especially me, I was more of a shy person. I needed time to get used to someone. I needed someone to be present, to be able to observe them, to be able to trust them before I open up. And he wasn't there. So it was a bit harder for me. Yeah, it was hard. And throughout time, I really learned, I guess, that I had some, I don't really like the term daddy issues, but I had some brokenness, I can say. It's from me not growing up with my dad. And I really noticed that when I met my husband, been together with my husband going on 12 years this year. So we met quite young. And that's when I really, really noticed, because being in a relationship, you learn a lot about yourself, and because the other person becomes your mirror. Habits that you thought were normal, or when you thought you were quite patient, you're not really that patient, but you learn so much about yourself. And he was able to, I guess, expose certain brokenness that I had. At the start of our relationship, he said, "Why do you act?" And also, it's not to offend anyone, it's not, to make fun of anyone that is going through it or has gone through it. That was just showing how the level of brokenness I had. And that's why I want to say what he said to me. He said I was acting like a divorced woman that was left heartbroken by her husband with 5 children out of nowhere. So I was like, wow. Why would you say that? I was really like more shocked because it was really random. I've never heard that before. That just showed me how broken I was actually, when I reflect back, because I didn't trust men. I didn't trust people in general. And I feel like it's because certain things you get taught by a father figure or a male figure in your life. You may not have your, physical, biological dad with you, but you may have a role model or a male figure in your life that is able to help you with certain things, that is able to tell you how worthy you are, how beautiful you are, that no man should take advantage of you because you know your self-worth, and that is confident and that is able to trust people or discern people. And I wasn't able to. So for me, it was easier just to close myself off. And that was just me. That was normal. Whenever anyone asked me something, anyone asked me a number, whatsoever, it was always no, because I just couldn't trust people. I couldn't trust people. I couldn't trust him, even though I was in a relationship. But that, I guess, there was some type of safety, I guess, that he portrayed, because there's a little door that was open in order for him to access it. He was able to reflect my weaknesses, my bad habits, and my brokenness that most probably came from the fact that I grew up without a dad. But he was able to see that I couldn't trust him, that couldn't open up to him, that, to be honest, I really started fully to trust my husband and letting go of any type of expectation, I would say, from the moment we moved in together. So it's 5 years. It was just after we got married and moved in together, I felt like I could fully open up and fully trust him. I did trust him, but fully trust him where I'm able to share some more information, feel more comfortable to fully be myself and express my worries or concerns. Yeah, it's probably 5 years, almost 5 years from the moment we moved in together. So the 7 years we were long distance, by the way. So I didn't trust him. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I was beautiful. I didn't think I could be a leader. I didn't think I was intelligent. I can name so many things. I didn't think I could be a creative. I couldn't be a creator. I couldn't be a manager. I couldn't be I didn't believe I could speak. So the fact that I'm actually speaking to you guys, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. Sorry, I didn't think I would cry. I didn't think the fact that I am actually talking to you guys in front of you, in front of this camera, taking the courage to speak, it is just mind boggling. It is just a testimony how great God is. And God is just really great because if I'm able to do this, I promise you guys, it's not out of my own strength because all the things that I've mentioned to you that I didn't believe in myself, didn't think I could do, and I was able to overcome that with God. And He was just the Father of the fathers that just covered me, that had my back, even when I didn't know He was there or I didn't believe He was there. But He always got me. He always got me. And this is just a testimony because I'm actually in front of you and I'm talking. So I didn't believe I could express myself. I didn't think I could express my opinion. I didn't even think I had a voice. Yeah, I didn't think I had a voice. Oh, I'm an ugly crier, so I don't want to cry. I'm just realizing how great God is because I really am here. So I didn't think I had a voice. I didn't think that my voice mattered. And I feel like growing up, I felt like because my mom was a single mom and because we were so many, we were eight, but my mom also took care of some cousins, she took care of her sisters, and we was, I guess, many and sometimes troubles with siblings or whatsoever. Whatever, burden was with her, I said I just didn't want to be a burden for her. And I just wanted to be as invisible that I can be. So I wanted to be the perfect child. I would close myself off. And I wouldn't advise any of you guys, of any young people or children. If you are listening, if you are 8 years old, you are seven, you are even six, you are nine, and you're just this considerate child that cares about other people, cares about other people feeling. Do not take this burden on you. That's too heavy as a child. It's not yours to carry. It's not yours to carry. And I felt like I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to cause any hassles for my mother because she's going through a lot. She is a single mom. She may be struggling in situation. Might have been hurt by other people. And as a child, you observe, you see these things, and maybe some of my siblings were wilding wilding out, stubborn. And I was like, I want to be a good child. I want to be calm. I don't want to bring any stress to her. So let me hold things in. I will go I will go in a toilet and cry and then come out as if nothing happened and bring out the smile. the laughters, and just distract myself and distract others. But I guess that's why I've always been calm. And by growing up like that, it had an impact because then I didn't know how to open up. I didn't know how to voice myself. I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know how to stand up for myself. I didn't know because from a young age, I felt like I was a burden and I should be a good child. I should be perfect. I should be kind. I should be nothing wrong with being kind. Again, it's nothing wrong to care about other people, but as a child, many things we go through as adults comes from childhood. If you don't work on it when you're younger, and it catches up with you when you're older, and especially when you go into marriage, because you cannot run away. You have to be vulnerable. You cannot continue with any bad habits or habits that you thought were normal. The other person is there to tell you, Nope, it's not normal." You have to work on it because you're not by yourself anymore. So, yeah, so all this stuff happened. And I remember one day I wrote a letter. I can't exactly remember which year it was, between 2015 and 18. I'm not too sure. But I wrote a letter, and I wrote a letter to God. And I wrote the opposite of everything that I just said. And I said, God, these are the things that I believe. I'm going to write the opposite of what I believe of myself. I'm going to say, I am a leader. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I am worthy. I am a creator. I can speak. I am important. Um, Here we go again. It's just as I'm speaking, I just put myself in the mindset that I had and the belief system I had of myself. Yeah, I would put the opposite. I am intelligent. I am worthy. I am worthy to be loved. I am worthy to be chosen. I am important. And that is what I wrote. It was beginning of the new year. And I said, I will write this letter to God. And I said, God, I write this letter to you. And I pray that, you take control of it and guide me through it. And you know what? I actually forgot about this letter. Throughout the years, I realized, actually, before I even got married, that God has made those differences in my life. At that time, I was working for H&M while I was studying. I'm more of a person, I like justice, basically. I like fairness. I don't like discrimination. I'll take accountability if I'm wrong. I'll say sorry if I'm wrong. I guess growing up, I also expected that other people are the same. But I worked with H&M for 10 years. With time, my work ethic, with time, I just got promoted and then became a manager. Yeah, I was never a person that likes to, what you say, kiss managers or flatter them or put other people down just for me to look good. I was just more of I work hard and I let my work talk for me. And that's how I got promoted at some point. That I didn't realize that God actually, through working at H&M, He showed me that I was able to be a leader, to be a manager, to be confident, because that's also something I wasn't confident about. So I would put, I'm confident, high self esteem, and stuff like that, because that was the opposite of what I believe. So I became confident. I realized that God made listened to my prayer. I was a manager. I had a whole team that was following me, that was respecting me, because I never asked them anything that I wouldn't do myself. I wouldn't be one that, sits around. I will lead by example, be a role model, and then train them, and then go through the different steps of leadership, of me doing myself, them seeing me doing it, them doing it with me watching them doing, and then them training someone else. And we always used to say, the next you, the next me. I learned so much in that environment. You always have, different groups, but it's also to work with different characters, different opinions, to voice out your opinion, to stand up for what you believe, and when someone has been wronged, to stand up for it. And that's really everything I learned through those 10 years of working in H&M. God was able to form me, to mold me, to teach me. That was a letter. So I realized that my dear dad and my Cher Papa is God as well. So he is the father of the fathers. He's the one that kept me. He's the one that protected me. He's the one that got my back. He's the one that made H&M happen, the growth happen, the promotion happen, that helped me get those skills to gain confidence, to lead. But then that was just in the field of work, but it didn't spread through everywhere yet. But there was a lot of growth. I didn't believe still in other aspects of my life that I could do things until I met my husband, as I said. So yeah, my story is a bit, I didn't grow up with my dad. Sorry guys if my story is a bit everywhere. It is the first episode that's going to be posted, but I'm just trying to remember. And I realized that when I put too many bullet points, write things down, I'm not as authentic. And I want to be as authentic as I can. I want to be myself, because if not, I'm going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be able to see it. And I'm not going to be myself. I won't be authentic. I won't be genuine. And I won't be me. So that's what I want to. I want to welcome you guys, even though I look very structured with a tie. I'm a I'm a softie. So I didn't grow up with my dad. I was not interested in him. I didn't want to call him dad. I found it very hard to call him dad. But yeah, my parents were separated, not living in the same country. I guess at some point I was angry because I felt like I wasn't chosen. I was not important enough in order for him to choose to live with us. I wasn't worthy enough to be chosen. Yeah, that's a bit it. So didn't grow up with him, had impact on my life. Now in marriage, it caught up with me. The insecurities happened. And even in marriage, I still had everything that came back. That letter that I wrote to God, like about between 2013 and or 2015 and 2018, about the opposite of what I believe, it came so much stronger while I was married. And if you see this behind here, just behind here really, I would put loads of notes on there, laid there, daily in the morning. And I would put, I am a leader again. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I am worthy. I would say that I am the child of God. I am the princess. I am created as a reflection of God's image. So I am worthy. I am the princess. I have the best father. I write all these things and I will read it daily, and then I would pray about what I read. Maybe have some, worship songs, and then I will start my day. And I will do that every morning, and I will leave it here in the living room. I will leave it there so I can see it. And then that was daily, daily, daily again, until one day I actually realized that God healed me again, that I was able to overcome things. Again, this is for anyone, everyone, also non-believers. That steps, that, you're welcome to listen. This is for anyone, really. It's all about action. It's about taking steps towards changing who you are, changing to the person that you want to be. This is just my life experience, and I can just say from what I did, I am, a follower of Christ, and that was the steps that helped me to get where I am today, and is still helping me to get where I need to be continuously, until God takes me. I didn't know how to trust as well. A lot of things my husband was able to help me, invested so much time with encouragement, so much time in believing in myself. He saw things that I didn't even see in myself. And he invested a lot of time, of support. of prayers, of encouragement, of love and care. Sometimes it can happen when you don't have, your dad in your life, that you kind of put your husband in a position of a dad figure. And it's, I'll just give a quick one. My husband would say, "Man, it's because of your dad that I have to take all these hugs and kisses you want to give. It's because he didn't give you enough hugs when you were younger. I have to suffer." That's just to joke around. He's a joker, by the way. But that always makes me laugh. I'm like, "Yeah, you go and tell him that. You go and tell him that." He said, "Yeah, yeah, I will, I will." Well, I'm still waiting. Well, Dad, you will know now. But that's what he said. But yes, it's a healing. Healing is a long process. I just realized that we are so many. We are so many that go for it. We are so many that no matter what age you are listening to, what age you are today, and you may have gone through worse. But I believe that every voice counts, every voice is important. You are important, as I am important. We can get out of it. You can get out of it. You. And you probably maybe are out of it already. You don't realize. And what I really realize, sometimes my mind may still be in the past, and not now, but sometimes I would think that I'm still my old self, but people outside will say, "Oh yes, they feel like I'm confident and feel like someone that speaks up and that is loud." And I'm like, "Really? Me?" I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not that." But actually, the way I guess I present myself comes across as this person. And I'm like, "Okay, well, glory to God. Thank God, I guess I am." But it's just changing that belief system. Sometimes it takes time to catch up with the way you present yourself, the way you look, the way your attitude is. And I hope this was interesting. I'm going to try and be consistent at least once a week, starting off, and be realistic. But I just welcome everyone, anyone that has any ideas, any suggestion, advice, also any professionals, when I say psychologists, therapists, that work with children with trauma, children with that haven't grown up with fathers, the impact that it has on male and females, and boys and girls, the impact that it has on them, and the effect that it has on their adulthood, the adult life, marriage. Anyone that is interested to support, to bring any ideas, suggestion, I invite you. I am open. This is the first time I'm doing this, and I am open to listen to any criticism, because I want to grow, and I want to have an impact on myself, and impact on others and you guys that are listening. So I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was welcoming. I hope you can find yourself in this story too. And if you can, please send a message. Please write a comment. Please listen to the audio on any platforms, podcasts that are available, which will be on the description. Please send any comments you want to, that is able to support, help me grow, be part of this community. I welcome you. I am not better than you. You are not better than me. We are all one. We're one family, and we all want to grow. We want to change. What is best then? To live happily and to grow and to be successful. And when I say success, it's just success when you can see where you come from and where you are today. And you are your own competition. You are your own challenge. You're not competing with the world, but compete with yourself. And I'm competing with myself. Myself this morning, myself yesterday. As I said, I can't believe I'm talking to you guys, because I didn't think I had a voice. I didn't think I could speak and I could express myself. And here I am today. So that is success for me. And I hope you want to be part of this success, part of your success. Thank you for listening. Dear Dad, Cher Papa, the father wound, we welcome you. Tell your story. We also, anyone that wants to be part and wants to be on this podcast, you are fully invited. Just send a message. We'll put my email also on here, or even write it on a comment. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for sharing this with others. And I hope to see you soon. And I hope you'll be part of my community, our community. It's not mine. Couldn't have a community without you. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would just a last thing ask you guys to, those that may have not forgiven their dad, those that are still going through this hardship, shock, trauma, maybe ask yourself where you are at this moment, why you haven't forgiven him. And forgiveness is really not about the other person, but it sets you free. So I would encourage you to take those steps. I know it's hard and I know it takes some time, it's not overnight, but take some time. And maybe it might be something that helps if you aren't able to speak, or you were like me where you didn't think you have a voice or can express yourself. Write a letter. Write a letter to yourself, journal, write a letter to your dad and say, "Dear Dad," or in French, "Cher Papa." Just write it down. Whatever it's going through your mind, whatever is crossing your mind, just write it down. There is nothing perfect, there is nothing right. You're writing from your heart, from your emotion. And then daily, you will see things changing, even if you don't believe it. We'll believe in it. Just like I said, I didn't believe on many things that I wrote, the letter that I wrote to God, the things that I read to myself, affirmations, daily affirmations. So do that. It helps you. And let me know what impact it had on you. And let me know if it is difficult. And we can do it together, guys, because it's a journey. The healing continues daily, yearly, monthly. Just work towards it. So thank you again for listening. Love you guys. You. Bye. Tschüss. Au revoir.